tonight on Focal Point.
With the rest of my Orange brethren, we are celebrating William III's victory at the Boyne 325 years ago. It wasn't the largest battle ever fought in world history, but the outcome was very important.
We are actually delighted that at schools from both communities, particularly the maintained sector, it's been very encouraging to see their response, wanting to come learn about the Orange institution. We are misunderstood, we have nothing to hide, and it's up to us to get out there, promote our message and let people see exactly what we believe and what we stand for.
Well, obviously music's a big part of the Ulster Scots story. If you look at the movement of Scots to Ulster and the plantation and all the years that followed that, not a lot's known about the sort of musical traditions that were here in 1600s, but we do know that through the centuries Scottish music has had a huge influence on traditional music here in Ulster.
Background is the annual 12th of July demonstrations to celebrate King William's victory at the Battle of the Boyne that secured the Glorious Revolution. The parades have been taking place for hundreds of years. I would say they've been parading in Belfast since 1800. We have one of the biggest parades in Northern Ireland, and it'll be a great day out for all.
Well, as a chaplain, I'm responsible both in private lodges, district lodges and county lodges for the conduct of worship, the prayers, the Bible reading and all those things. The rest of my Orange brethren, we are celebrating William III's victory at the Boyne 325 years ago. It wasn't the largest battle ever fought in world history, but the outcome was very important, securing for us our civil and religious liberty, and also securing a constitutional monarchy instead of a despotic monarchy. And it opened up as well. The significance was that in the resultant history, the Puritans of England, 1620 of course was before the Boyne, the Ulster Scots and the Scots from Scotland themselves headed for the New World and opened up what we would now see as the United States of America.
Today there'll be 122 lodges in parade, 69 bands, and 24 of those bands are from Scotland. Today we're joined by Jerry Budden, who's the Grand Master of Canada. He's with us. He was over for the Imperial Orange Council in Liverpool last week, and we've great pleasure in welcoming him to Belfast to parade with us.
Well, we have them mainly throughout all that we would say was the former British Empire. Australia, New Zealand, we have it of course in the United States of America. Canada is very strong in Orangeism, and we have it of course down through England, especially in the south of England, and then of course in Liverpool. Scottish Orange Order is very, very strong, and many Scotsmen are here today because we are Ulster Scots.
What's the role of Grand Marshal?
Basically on the day, just to make sure everything runs smooth. Most 98% of everything for the day has been done and organised prior to the day. But there's always, like everything, there's always a few wee extras need done on the day and sorted out. And that's myself and Brother Brown's job to run around here this morning, like 2 flags, getting everything organised, and then hopefully make sure through the day that everything else runs smooth. There could be phone calls coming through from districts further back, and we then will respond to those accordingly. I've been walking to the field over about 37 years in total, but I've been marshalling 20 and I've been Grand Marshal for 8, along with my very, very good colleague here, Brother Brown, my deputy.
54 years going to the field, and this is the 8th year of assisting William marshalling the parade.
I would say I've walked about 30 times or more. I've been in the order for near 50 years.
I'd have to start subtracting, but my first time was 1954 when I was 22. But I was in the Orange Order before that, but that was my actual first 12th of July.
And are there any particular marches that stick in your mind?
As a young boy, when I was 6 and 7, parading with my father's lodge and carrying the strings, it was always something to look forward to.
A particular one would have been 1955, which was a year of great religious revival in Protestant churches, holding missions all over Belfast and Northern Ireland. Not as great as the 1859 revival, but a very important year. And it impinged on Orangeism as well and greatly helped us.
Good memories are when we walked down this road and there wasn't the amount of police presence there is today. We walked down this road for 54 years and we always showed respect to everyone on this road.
Now, all these parades do tend to be contentious.
That's what the Glorious Revolution was all about, allowing freedom of speech and people the right to protest. As long as people protest with no violence, I have no difficulty with protest.
Well, my favourite part of the day really is the celebration, the speeches at the field, and of course the dinner beforehand, which we will very much need.
It's a pretty long day for a lot of people.
I think the adrenaline keeps them going. Some may do, but the vast majority, sadly, is some, including myself, probably the only real exercise I get during the year.
At the end of the day, knowing everything's been a success and run peacefully. Our main aim is to have a peaceful parade for everyone on the day.
Whenever everybody's home safe and secure, hopefully, I always say bruise and bump free. At the end of the day, then myself and Brother Brown can relax and go home. I can get my feet in a hot bucket of salted water.
Well, the building has been designed to try and reach out into the local community to make them more aware of the Orange institution, what it stands for, the faith aspect of it, which is the most important part of the Orange Order, the biblical basis of it, and the cultural aspects of it as well. And we want to try and educate particularly our young people, and that's why we'll have it open to schools. The ethos of the Interpretive Centre is to preserve the many artefacts which we have here on display at the museum, to present them in a stimulating and interesting way. We've got a number of exhibits. A lot of it is interactive, and that should be a stimulating way to engage our children and young people to make them learn more about our order.
The reason it's been set up in Loch Gall is that following the Battle of the Diamond on the 21st of September 1795, the battle site is just a few miles away from here. That evening then the guys decided to meet here in Sloane's Inn, and it was on that occasion that they agreed to form the Orange Institution. Prior to the Battle of the Diamond there had been some Orange clubs in existence in memory of King William III, but everything was formalised that evening on the 21st of September 1795 in this actual room that you're filming today. This is where the laws constitution of the institution were set up, and the first warrants were actually issued. And the guys behind me here at the table, that's Captain Gifford in the military uniform, and he's actually doing the Constitution. The guy to the left of him is James Sloane, who owned the Sloane's Inn, and then the other guy to the other side is James Wilson, who got the first warrant down LOL number 1 because they already had an Orange Society in existence. That's how the first warrant of the institution comes to be in County Tyrone and not actually in County Armagh.
Currently we have over 200 members who are friends of Sloane's House, and the makeup is from a variety of different backgrounds of people. We have members from America, New Zealand, the Irish Republic, here obviously in Northern Ireland, England and Scotland, and that also includes members from the Roman Catholic community. We have an AGM every year which is held on the 21st of September, and that's a very significant date in the Orange calendar, because that's the date whenever the Battle of the Diamond was fought, not that far from here at Dan Winter's cottage. and as a result of that battle, that's how the Orange institution as we know today was formed.
It's extended from this small room. The room is still in the same place obviously, and then we have the interpretive centre adjoining the whole of this property, as well as a tea room. And the purpose obviously is for us to preserve, present and promote, and basically to preserve the artefacts that have come into our possession. We have, for example, a very old Masonic flag which was flown at the Battle of Dolly's Bray. A few months ago we got an original membership roll of LOL 25 back to 1796 come into our possession, and there are a number of other artefacts. James Sloane's gavel that he used from his meetings, etc., is also in our possession, along with other very important artefacts.
Well, it was very excited at the start to hear that it was going ahead. I say I've lived in the village all my life. I was born here in 1970, and I grew up with the old Sloane's house in here, so it was nice to see the work been done and to see what it has turned into. Well, I think it's very important that especially my own son here that I've brought today, he's a junior member of the Orange, and it's good to bring him here to show him the history of what it's all about. I do believe that it's very important to bring members of the Roman Catholic community and let them see what it's all about, because I think maybe they interpret the Orange Order in a different light, and it would be good to have them here to see what it says, what it's all about. The history there that's in the cabinets in the museum is very important, you know, and it's the timeline. I find myself, I'm always learning from it, you know. No matter how many times I read it over, there's always things that I've learned that I didn't know. So
we do have a schools outreach officer at the moment, and he is tasked with making contact with local schools of both Protestant and Catholic, and it will give them the opportunity to see firsthand the story of the Orange institution, why it was formed, why we're still in existence some 220 years later after the Battle of the Diamond, and we would want to be going, hopefully, God willing, under his guidance for another 220 years, because we believe we have an important part to play within the province. And as you will see, both from our project and also the Belfast project, a number of very important people down through the years have been members of the institution. So we're more than proud here in County Armagh that everything was established from here, and with good deep established roots, a good healthy tree grows. From little acorns, big oak trees grow, so we're more than happy.
I know there were a number of teething problems just with any project, and it's just terrific that we had the official opening here on the Monday the 29th of June, and we had a number of significant dignitaries there on that occasion, and it's just marvellous to have this facility in our own county, the birthplace of Orangeism, and it's something that certainly the County Armagh Grand Orange Lodge members are very proud of, and we hope that it will be put to good use in the future.
So the Orange Order claims to be reaching out, but it's been suggested that this should also apply to its own membership. What's your views on this? I
would agree with that. Quite a few of our own members maybe find the origins of the institution a wee bit vague. Some of them don't realise that the first warrants the importance of this building, of Sloane's House, and yes, we have to reach out to our own people as well and educate them, and we're quite happy so to do. I would have to say I'm very proud, very humble to be an Orange man and to be the County Grand Master of County Armagh. It has not been my effort. There's no I in team. It's been very much a team effort. And I think it's all credit to people who have worked extremely hard for quite a few years. We're very encouraged by all that's going on. None of this would have been possible without £1.1 million of the funding coming from the SEUPB, and we're indebted to them that they had the confidence in us after producing a business plan for the next 25 years, which was no mean feat. And we are indebted to the SEUPB for having the confidence in us to get on with the project. And we're delighted with what we have ended up with. Certainly we have a lot more space, and it will give us plenty to do in the form of outreach, because obviously the Loughgall operation, as well as Schomburg, is very much cross-community based. But not only that, our one here will be cross-border as well. We've established very strong links with a number of museums in the Irish Republic. We also have linked up with the Meath Peace Group and various other organisations, as well as local schools. And we are actually delighted that it's schools from both communities, particularly the maintained sector, it's been very encouraging to see their response, wanting to come learn about the Orange Institution. We are misunderstood, and it's up to us now. We have nothing to hide, and it's up to us to get out there, promote our message, and let people see exactly what we believe and what we stand for.
It's very good to see it. It's just what Loughgall needed as a village. The wee coffee shop and all I have got there now was something that the village needed for a long time. You would have got tourists coming to the village, and they knew what the village was about. They knew it was connected to the Orange, but really there wasn't anything. When they did come, there was nothing for them really to see. There was nowhere for them to go. Where now we have this excellent facility for them, and they have the coffee shop. You know, it's definitely good for the village, and hopefully it'll attract more visitors in the future.
We have a garden of remembrance at the rear of the building, of which that is in tribute to 68 members of belonging to County Armagh who were murdered in the last conflict in the province. And when you remember that out of that, 332 were murdered throughout Northern Ireland, 68 of those were from this county. So we're more than pleased with the Garden of Remembrance. It's an area of reflection where you can go down and sit, just reflect, and it's a nice, peaceful, tranquil area.
Yep, well, that's very personal to me, because I have my uncle's plaque there. My uncle David Halligan was murdered in 1989. He was only 18 at the time. I remember it very, very well. He also lived in the village here. He lived beside me, just where I lived up in the estate. There's quite a few other names there that I served myself in the security forces here, and there's a brave few of my comrades in that, just in that one wee piece there. Plus other names there from years gone by that I know. But I say it's nice to come here and reflect on them days. It's nice and peaceful.
We're here today playing in the Spectrum as part of the Industrial Belfast exhibition. We were involved with Bobby going back a few months now about getting the exhibition and the wee booklet together, and it's all about the Ulster Scots heritage of a lot of the industrial giants in Belfast. Most of the music we're playing today is a mixture of jigs and reels, strathspeys, hornpipes and marches, which are mostly drawn from the traditional Scottish accordion and fiddle tradition, which is mainly used for dancing at weddings like ceilidhs and things like that. So it's probably dating back 100, 200 years, maybe some of them, right back to the early origins of what we class now as Scottish country dancing, although we've used a couple of modern tunes today which are written by people who we've had over here in the last couple of years teaching some of the local musicians. An accordionist called Ian Muir from just outside Ayr, and a couple of his compositions, a couple of wee marches there, and a couple of compositions by Marie Fielding, who's a fiddle tutor who teaches in the Royal Scottish Academy in Glasgow, and she's been over here teaching some of our fiddle players, just bringing the skill level up here as well. Yeah, so trying to mix some of the old with the new, but still it's a very traditional feel. Yeah. Well, obviously music's a big part of the Ulster Scots story. If you look at the movement of Scots to Ulster and the plantation and all the years that followed that, not a lot's known about the sort of musical traditions that were here in 1600s, but we do know that through the centuries Scottish music has had a huge influence on traditional music here in Ulster, and the instrumentation has followed that which is developed in Scotland, whether that's, you know, the use of the fiddle, very traditional instrument, accordions, and obviously if you look at the piping tradition in Northern Ireland, it's never been stronger, so that's a clean throwback to the Ulster Scots influence, I would have thought, in Ulster, yeah. I've been playing accordion probably for around 25 years now. It wasn't something I've done when I was a kid. I studied piano and then sort of got into the accordion side of things. My father played accordion and we're brought up in that sort of traditional music background. But obviously my interest is in everything Ulster Scots, whether that's, you know, history, language, culture, and there's some really great experiences and opportunities for people in the Ulster Scots world playing at events, and we've been lucky enough to get a bit of travel, you know, throughout the UK and over to the States and things. So yeah, it's certainly it's an interest which is worth pursuing. I like to think of it as a very wide tradition, and that takes in the accordion and fiddle scene, it brings in the whole piping scene, but also it encompasses the Ulster band tradition here, whether that's, you know, flutes or lambegs or whatever it is. There's probably coming up on 700 bands, so, you know, literally there are tens of thousands of people playing broadly Ulster Scots music here. Yeah.
Now, tomorrow's weather.